Hello, everyone, and welcome to the big show. I'm your host, Jerk, and thank you all for joining us. Today, our guest is the Tech Tree Tier 7 British Light Cruiser Edinburgh for Kraken 174, the first of 2021. So if we maintain this pace, we're looking at, 180 more this year? Please, God. I just want life to go back to normal and maybe someday actually work a real job again. That would be great. I'm starting to feel like I'm sequestered in a lighthouse. All the rations I've spoiled, I've drank all the gin, and my only company is a mermaid. Sorry, back to reality. The Tugboat of Terror is a fabulous ship, armed with British AP, some decent torps, and a smokescreen. Unless you've been stranded in the lighthouse for too long, in which case you might be a mad lad and choose radar over smoke, which I do. Though we don't get much of a chance to use it this round. Why would I choose radar over smoke? Well, because the Edinburgh is the only Tier 7 ship with a 30mm bow, and if I'm sitting in smoke, then I'm not taking advantage of this ridiculous feature. For those who don't know, 30mm means I can bounce any shell but the Yamatos. Of course, hits to the superstructure will still hurt, as will shells that drop through the deck. So let me show you my commander and explain. I try to keep my detection low so I can close the distance and use that 30mm bow. I've got Mikawa on to aid in my concealment, and I use Yamamoto for extra AP penetration. Does he make a difference? I'm sure there are stats out there that could prove one way or the other, but it does feel like it does, and I'm American. Our feelings are more important than so-called facts. Let's get to this match. We're on northern waters, and fittingly, I have the Arctic camo on, and I gotta say, this is a good-looking camo. It's also sparsely populated with legendary tier ships, but quite heavily populated with battleships. Is that a problem for Edinburgh? Nope, there are no Yamatos. To start this match, you'll notice I pushed towards B and protected myself with the terrain. I fired to bait the red team into shooting and reveal themselves, and they were all too happy to oblige. Sure, I took a little damage, but it was well worth it to find out the majority of their team's position. The red destroyers are all on A, and Alaska is capping C, but the majority of the red battleships are pushing around this island to B. And whether they know it or not, this is exactly what I want. The closer they get to me, the more powerful my bow armor becomes. So while they do their hungry trudge forward thinking they have an easy target in me, I will angle again to protect my sides, use my stern armor for any shots that come from the rear, and help to focus down this red Alaska who finds themselves on sea without any support whatsoever. We can see the power of the British AP here, and if you viewers haven't ground through the British light cruiser line, don't let its lack of HE scare you. Let it free you. Because when you don't have to think about which shell type to use, you don't need no safety nets, man. It's true that the lower tier ships are quite challenging to work through, but as you work up each tier, the payoff gets greater and greater. And the Fiji is one hell of a good tier 6 ship. And the Edinburgh is everything the Fiji offers, but just better in every single way. And there's our first one. I know I allude to these matches being a lot like the plots of horror movies sometimes, but look at what we have here. The red battleships are teenagers splitting up to look for their missing friend. And this Iowa, just to my north, is about to have a run-in with this pint-sized killer. So let me get bow in, protect my side with this terrain, and time my move with their reload. And, this guy is not even aiming at me. Well, you, sir, will respect my authority.
battleship destroyed.
Oh, all right. So, my team's capping C. Red team is about to flip B, and they have A. The majority of our fleet is behind me, but we have a couple of ships to the south, most likely being hunted by the red destroyers. Not much I can do about that right now, except maybe make sure their efforts aren't in vain, and that should they go down, someday in the mead halls we will sing songs of praise of their sacrifice. So I'm going to push forward onto B, because I already have my next target in mind.
À tous les bâtiments, demande d'appui.
Again, look at this damage the British AP is doing here. 8 to 10,000 a salvo. And the longer that Jean Bart wants to show me his soft, supple sides, I'm going to spray load after load onto it. Sooner or later, though, you will take notice, and being a typical Jean Bart player, who is suspiciously like a typical Wichita player, they will bow tank me and try to shoot through my bow. Now there is another Jean Bart over on A, so again, I'm trying to use this island on my right to protect me from that. And I think I'm angled pretty well against both of them, but the Jean Bart that's far away is going to get some plunging fire through my deck, and it's going to hurt.
Fire!
Right there. The shot is still ringing in my ears, but fortunately for me, the more dangerous Jean Bart has now put themselves out of position behind that island with no access to me. I should have mentioned earlier, but when I first started this engagement, I put on my sonar as we haven't seen either destroyer in a while, and they've revealed themselves now. But first, let's put this Jean Bart out of its misery. And you can see, I'm shooting its superstructure. Don't get caught up in the heat of the moment and do something silly like shoot its guns or bow armor. British AP isn't going to do anything there. So now that he's down, we can just go ahead and take out this Kagero real quick. And here, we'll finally get to see me use some radar, but, you know, it is what it is.
Torpedoes dead ahead.
So that gives us 4 in pretty rapid succession, and guess what? This smoke gives me an excellent approach to this Jean Bart, so thanks Kagero, I appreciate it. So let's just rinse, lather, and repeat. This smoke screen is blocking my steady advance, and the British AP is going back to work. 4k damage, 8k damage, and this Jean Bart will do the one move they have, bow in. But I bet just about all of you know what's going to happen now. And if you should take a look at the mini-map real quick, for all of those who are always asking how I get so many Krakens, look where I am compared to my team. Right up in the front. Now I don't recommend everyone do this. This is either foolishness or experience, but you blend those together and it's like turpentine and honey. A drink that will do the trick in a pinch, as this Jean Bart is about to find out. There we go. Kraken 174 in the Edinburgh. But we're not done. We have the opportunity for a 6-pack. But just where in the hell is this Z23? And that's right, I am saying that's how it's done. Well, the Z23 was last seen over here. And since I haven't seen any evidence of their location elsewhere, I figure I might as well check it out. I've got a flotilla behind me after all. Maybe this person disconnected, or who knows. So we'll just mosey this way, hoping to get spotted, but if not, we can let our minds wander about what life must be like on these cold, desolate islands. Are there any one-eyed gulls? What is there to do that prevents the lighthouse keeper from descending into madness? Do you see that mermaid on the shore? Do you see the lobster trap with the one-eyed decapitated head? I cast a Promethean fate upon you.
Victory is in sight.
Sorry, where was I? Victory is in sight, you say? Well, then, let's try and narrow down where this Z-23 is. So, what I'm doing here is I'm firing my guns to bloom my spotting range to see if I can be spotted to try and ascertain the location of this Z-23. So you're going to see me doing this, and I actually do this quite a bit when it comes down to trying to hunt down destroyers at the end of the match. So if you ever see other people doing it, that might be why as well. There are torpedoes, and it looks like... Wait a minute, we have a GK? Where has that been all game? And I guess this is why a lot of people don't like destroyer mains. This guy wasted the entire game trying to sink ships and chase damage instead of helping his own team. Yeah, congratulations, you took out the GK, but you lost. Which is more important? To me, I guess, I'm not a damage farmer. If I wanted to, I could just hang out at the back of the map and put up some big numbers, but I would generally lose more often than I would win at that rate. I, myself, would rather sink ships and win games. Anyway, our Kagero's got this guy spotted. I'm just trying to close the distance. I don't think I can hit him from out there, but I'm not sure what I'm thinking, because my thought was, well, this guy's eventually going to get into his smoke, and I want to get close enough to be able to use my radar. But we can see he's already using his smoke now, and he's not going to be able to be hidden. So I'm just going to try and turn to get all my guns to face him, and then we will end up shooting at him. And with this lucky salvo, we get to go down to the liquor store and pick up a 6-pack of Boddingtons. You know what, let's just grab a bottle of Lagavulin while we're at it. So smooth. And that wraps it up for this one. Let's see the stats. 3,097 XP, so just squeaking into the very good game category. And a nice one from the friendly Jean Bart, 2 netting all 9 between the two of us, though most of the team chipped in. So if you like this look at the King of the North, then dev strike the like. If you're a Jean Bart captain who only has one move, hit dislike. Leave a comment or question if you have one. And if you're trapped in a lighthouse descending into madness, consider subscribing as Misery Loves Company, and we'll talk soon.